Good day, everyone. Jonathan Sarr from the Juvo Hub podcast. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here today, where learning leads. I often forget to say our tagline on this show, but it means a lot to me because that is what we are trying to do: is provide an opportunity to focus on learning perspective, learning theory, learning and development. We have been focused on a series surrounding mental health and learning and development. So this is the concluding episode for this series at this time. I'm sure we're going to readdress it at some point in a future set of episodes. But it's been a lot of fun putting this series together. This is number four of number four of four. We focused a lot on just things from the student perspective, things from the learning and development team perspective. And the way we're going to wrap this up now is like what's in the middle. So in property management, we have all different types of leadership. We think of learning and development, and that team is technically our leaders in that space. And we have the students who are taking the curriculum that their learning and development leaders have outlined for them. But where do community managers and assistant managers and regionals, where do they fit in to all of this? Well, that's why we're going to call you the mental health shield. So think of that, kind of that Captain America. How are you helping? How are you protecting your people? How are you supporting their mental health when it comes to learning and development? Have you ever wondered why your team members feel guilty about taking their training? So let's recreate the scenario. Your team member has their fair housing course they have to take, or their a maintenance training, the OSHA training or something like that. And here's their demeanor. I know I have all of these things I have to do, so I'm sorry, but I have to get my training done today. So the entire conversation is already negative, anxious, pessimistic. Because the only thing that's on their mind is all of their other work that they need to do. So what can you do as managers, as leaders, to provide that mental health shield? That's where we think of psychological safety. So what does that mean? Why is that so important? Well, we don't want our team members to feel guilty. We want them to feel safe. How do we do that? So let's go back to that scenario. Manager, I need 30 minutes. I need an hour to get my training done. Well, you can approach it from two different ways. Well, okay, just let me know when you're done. Or, we got you. Let me just put out a quick message on Teams and let everyone know, hey, so-and-so has got to wrap up their training. Please do not disturb them for the next hour. Huge contrast between the two approaches. We don't want our team member to feel guilty for taking their training. Just by our demeanor, now we have shifted from a reactive approach to being one that's more positive. And that's the goal. That's what we're looking for. So think of other ways that you can reinforce this too. So in the property management world, on-site, regional, we celebrate. There are all kinds of wins that may take place. And we want to highlight those. Maybe you do that in your morning, your weekly huddle, whatever the case may be. So take the time to isolate training wins. So you may go through a list of wins. Okay, we're at such and such a percentage of occupancy. We successfully closed this number of leases. We successfully turned this many apartments. All great wins, all things to say, well done, team. Add to that list. Add to the list. So and so completed ABC training. So and so completed this learning plan. Hey, can you tell us what was one thing that you remember from your training this week? Share that with the team. Offer commendation. It's a win. So just these few examples can really help us understand the difference that community managers, regionals, the role that you play in providing a safe environment, psychological safety when it comes to learning and development. Yes, you are a mental health shield. So this series has been a ton of fun. One that's very personal to me because, we go through so much stress and anxiety as it is just with day-to-day life. We've been focused just on one segment when it comes to mental health and our contribution from a learning and development perspective. So I'm confident you've enjoyed this series. We would love your feedback and any comments and experiences that you have. But most of all, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode, and perhaps you have listened to the whole series and other episodes from this show. We appreciate your support of the Juvo Hub podcast, where learning leads. We look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everyone.